Welcome to Marketing MASH, brought to you by themarketingscope.com.
Welcome to the Marketing MASH, brought to you by marketingscope.com. I'm Eric Vidal. With me today is Ted Rubin, speaker, writer, social media strategist, CMO or acting CMO.
Good-looking
brand
guy.
Innovators, good-looking guy, handsome.
Yeah.
Very personal. Ted, everyone in our audience knows Ted Rubin, the marketing guy, but let's go back a little bit. Tell me what you were doing before you got into marketing.
Well, I was a sales guy. I mean, first of all, I've always been a connector. And I use the word connector versus networker because I always thought it was a networker, but what I was really doing was building communities. I've been doing this since I was a kid. All my friends from all different walks of life, from different parts of my life, always knew each other. Friends I have from junior high, from elementary school, from camp.
So in the summer, everyone met up in your yard.
Well, it wasn't so much when I was younger as we got older and started spreading out. All my friends know each other. John knows my friends. Buddies of mine, like who are cops, know buddies of mine who are attorneys with top firms. And I always brought them together and I wanted them to know about each other. So I was building communities from early on.
Before social media.
Absolutely.
Way before.
But sales was where I really got my start. And I like to say, I think that some of the best marketers are former great salespeople because salespeople have one incredible talent that a lot of marketers are lacking. They know how to listen. It's true listen. And it places the person who you're dealing with and the consumer you're trying to deal with on top of everything else. And if you can truly listen, you can really make inroads. And every salesman is taught that in the intro. Stop talking so much. Let your prospect talk. Hear what they have to say. Hear what their needs are. And to me, that's where it comes from. So I started as a sales guy as recently as, not so recent, but 1997 when I joined Seth Godin at his startup Yoyodyne. And he hired me because he needed sales guys. But then I moved up without my family because they were living in Florida, I had to sell the house, and I made the mistake of moving in with my in-laws. Don't ever, ever, ever move in with your in-laws.
That's probably another video.
Especially if they're like the Costanzas. So I am not an early riser, but I made sure to get out of my house every morning by 6 a.m. before anybody got up. And I got to work, and Seth is an early riser. And I got
By the way, I love the way I know the real version of that story because I've heard it, so I like the way you just made it nice and cute.
Well, try to keep it short, but I was lucky enough to be around Seth when he was coining the term permission marketing, when he wrote the article for Fast Company, when he was talking about how do ideas spread. And I just got incredibly enamored with marketing. And I made a gradual transition after 1998 when Yahoo bought us out. And I went to Bottle Rocket and then 800 Flowers, and then I got involved in the digital space, in the social media space, into the marketing side of things. And I found my true home. I mean, To me, you get to sell, but you don't have to ABC. You don't have to always be closing.
Yeah, well, when it comes to social media,
You have to always be connecting instead.
Always be connecting. I've heard them all from you, but I haven't heard that one yet, so thank you.
You're welcome.
ABC, always be connecting. You heard it here with Ted Rubin. Ted, so I've known you for some time, not a long time, but some time, and a few months back, we were at a cocktail party. You invited me to a cocktail party that was in Phoenix.
Yes.
And because I'm from the Bay Area, I now live in Phoenix. That's a long story too. So I showed up, and you were fashionably late, as usual. Probably a solid.
You know
50,
what? I'll take
solid 50 minutes. I think.
I will take all the credit for that. I won't mention the person who recently left Arizona to move to move to Virginia.
Does it rhyme with?
I don't.
Social fun.
I don't think we should say it, but yes, I was late. I'll own up to it. I was.
No, but I'm actually glad you were late because if you would have showed up at the same time I did, on time, you and I would have connected. We were chatting as usual, but I got to meet some social media marketing people out of the Phoenix area that know you,
right?
And just what they said and the way they were talking about you. In social media, people just admire you and they look up to you and all the things that I was hearing from them, because I started asking questions. And so how do you know him? Why? Well, we met online. He replied to my questions. He thanked me. He followed me. He engaged me, and I'm just this 26-year-old social media marketing person at this small company who just got started, but he took his time out and answered questions. Who does that, right? And over and over, I keep hearing that from people, and I'm connected with you. I see it over and over. I think you have 34 hours in a day, by the way.
I got to tell you,
not 24.
I've got chills because this is what it is about for me. And it just shows you, like, I am not the smartest guy. I swear to God, really. I say some shit, I don't even know where it comes from sometimes. But I am very passionate. I really believe in what I say. I think it through. I don't just spurt things out. But the point is that the reason I've built this brand and I've made these connections is because I care about people, because I reach out to people, because I take advantage of the social platforms, but then I take advantage of how they connect with real life and where you're going. And I travel a lot. I try to meet people in every city I go to. And I got to tell you, I got to give big credit to my buddy John Andrews, who I talk about a lot because John's had a big effect on my life. But John, whatever city we would go to, he'd always say, let's just get people together. Like I would do it, whereas if Eric reached out to me or Aaron, what's Aaron's last name in Phoenix? I'm sorry, Aaron, I'm not remembering it right now.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking
about. But Aaron saw I was coming and said, hey, why don't we do a meetup? I'll get people together. Joe Com has done it for me in Denver. But John always went beyond that. He didn't wait for other people to do it. He did it himself. And so, I don't necessarily always go to these big meetups where there's 50, 100, 200 people, but I always make sure, every city I go to, I have a list. In my email, I have this thing called city visits. And every day I add to them about people who live in different cities that when I'm there, I want to make sure to reach out to them and get the opportunity to meet with them. And beyond that, I post wherever I'm going way in advance, and I say to people real easily, here's where I'm staying.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that with us, by the way. So listen, we have the Brand Advocacy Summit coming up August 19th. You're keynoting. If you want to hear more about Ted Rubin and social media marketing, brand advocacy, anything and everything, he'll be there doing the keynote for 30 minutes, so make sure you register.
Hope you'll be there. Thanks a lot.
That's it for this episode of Marketing Mash. You can share your thoughts by following us on Twitter and Facebook. Subscribe to our podcast to keep up with the show. And of course, you can always find us by visiting themarketingscope.com.